So on Monday, June 22nd, we were notified that there was a posting on Facebook, BLDM, that was allegedly made by one of our firefighters in reference to Black Lives Don't Matter, in reference a situation down in Virginia. It was brought to our attention. It was posted on our own Facebook page and the fire department's Facebook page. And we since then has started an investigation into what happened and what the outcome will be.
So you get this message. What was the first thing that went through your head?
Humiliation and devastated that one of our own public employees who is sworn to protect and serve and respond to people who are in need in the community would actually say Black Lives Don't Matter. That was beyond repulsive.
So the investigation took weeks. So what did that start with? What did that look like? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, the investigation was conducted by our Human Resource Department and our fire chief, and it involved interviews of at least 20 individuals over the course of 5 to 7 days. And the report was, or the findings were put into an investigative report, which was provided to me yesterday on Monday.
And what were some of those findings?
The findings were that although not admitted, the posting was not denied. And through further investigation, we believe that the terminated fire lieutenant made those comments, posted those comments, and he is no longer employed with the fire department.
Who was all a part of making that final decision?
Well, it was a recommendation from the Human Resources Office, and our fire chief recommended that he be terminated, and I completely agree. I think the first thing we ought to say in this entire interview is an apology to Black Lives Matter, to the Black community, and to the whole movement, and to our community. I'm ashamed and embarrassed what has happened, and they deserve a full apology, and I hope they accept that.
Why was this investigation so important instead of just firing him on the spot?
Well, because we have to follow the law. We have to follow the constitutional rights of an individual. We had to adhere to providing the employee the opportunity to be heard, and that wasn't available to us in the first few days. So once we were able to allow him to give his side of the story and be heard, the report was concluded, it was provided to me, and a decision was made.
In the report, it was noted that the employee actually had quite a few instances of racist and even homophobic postings. So can you explain some of what was brought to light with these other additional posts?
Yeah, I don't think it does any good for me to get into all of those comments. I think they are included in the report, and people, I feel free to pull up the report. We've been very transparent. We've provided it to the community. There it is on the website. I'm just not going to get into every comment that was made.
Why did it take so long to discover that these comments were being made?
Well, if it would have been brought to our attention by someone in Virginia, we can't follow what each individual employee does on their social media account. We just don't follow that. It was brought to our attention, and from the moment it was brought to our attention, he never worked for us again.
So are there any policies that deal with how township employees should conduct themselves through social media and other kind of platforms?
Yeah, we have a social media policy, and we have a conduct policy, and those were all violated, and that's all included in the report.
Will there be some adjustments after this, more monitoring of other township employees, or?
I don't think so. I mean, we have good policies in place. We hold people accountable, and we're not going to be looking over everyone's shoulder to see what they do. But in the end, if they do something that is so distasteful and so disgraceful to our community, we will take action. I think this is a good message to everyone.
How will the township ensure or try to prevent something like this will ever happen again? Are you guys taking any preventative measures?
I think we are going to look into doing some more additional training on diversity and inclusion. I think this goes beyond race. I think it goes into LGBTQ issues and everything, that we need to make sure that people know this is a very welcoming community, regardless of your sexual orientation or your gender, your race. We're a very welcoming community, but we can always be better. And we're going to look for ways to do that.
Does these new training, does it happen with current staff or with new staff, or a mixture of both?
I think all of us, including myself.
Perfect. So how does the township plan on implementing perhaps more diversity throughout its staff in light of this topic?
Well, one of the things we're looking at is going out and finding more diverse candidates, and perhaps putting them through, like we do with the police department. We put candidates who add to our diversity through academy, and we might want to do the same thing with paramedic school and the fire department. We're always looking for new ways to increase our diversity.